Good evening, Will Richardson. Thanks for joining us here at Yellow Shelf.
Good morning, Johanna. Yes, thank you very much. How are you?
I'm so good. This is the best end of the day for me. So this works really well. And yes, excited. You're in the Northern Hemisphere. I'm in the Southern Hemisphere. Congratulations, your podcast, Sustainability Solved podcast. I was just sharing with you, I've been on your radar a while, listening to episodes. You're nearly at 200. Well done.
No, I know. I know. Who'd have thought? And it's so funny. You listen to people and they say, "Should I do a podcast?" And you are, I don't know about you, but when people ask me, if you think you're not going to be doing it in 6 months to a year's time, don't even bother starting.
Agree,
And that's what I
agree.
was told. That's what I was told. And
Yeah.
what, 5 years later?
Yes, the long game in the podcasting space is a must,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So, look, what do we need to know about your podcast? You have a co-host now, but tell us all about so audience listeners can get an understanding of what it's all about.
Yeah, of course. It's called Sustainability Solved, and it is what it is on the tin. I tried to trademark Sustainability Solved. I was told I wasn't allowed to because you can't solve sustainability. But I trademarked Sustainability Solved by Will Richardson. Who
Oh,
knew? Will
work.
Richardson can actually solve
So,
sustainability. So that's what it's about. And so we help organizations understand what it is to reduce their environmental impact. We've been on a bit of a learning journey over the last 5, 6 years. 2018 we started, so now, yeah, 6 years. Wow, that's not 5 years. And we started off by interviewing small business owners and CEOs of larger businesses, finding out what it was that they were doing and how they were doing it. And we have now morphed into what was a weekly show into a monthly show where we actually tackle issues that are really hurting or hindering
yes.
organizations, i.e., making their impact more high. So our last one was all about digital emissions and the role of digital emissions within an organization. So it's great.
Yeah. And look, from a personal perspective, I love that they're monthly because, I'm waiting for the next one. I know round about the time of the month it's going to be released. I think that works really well because you do tackle topics. Yeah, I guess gritty topics that, are
Mm.
super informative, insightful. So, Will, I'm curious about what inspired you to create a podcast show. Like you said, you've been going at it nearly 5 years. And tell us about
No,
your background. Tell us about Will.
yeah. So 6 years.
Oh,
And I really didn't want to correct you. It's because I first said 5 years, and then I was like, actually, it's 2018. It is
yeah.
actually six now. But what inspired me, I did my first talk on climate change back in 1990 when I was 15 years old, and it's been an ongoing theme of my life since then. In my undergraduate thesis, then I did not very good, but I did a master's. It turns out I'm not particularly academic, to be honest with you, although my A levels should have probably told me that. And I've been helping organisations since 2003 in the working world. And so it's really been a big part of my life. And it's the reason why I do it is I just wanted to be able to help organizations that couldn't afford consultancy and they can listen to something that is much more cost effective, but also more accessible
Yeah.
to the smaller organizations.
And do you know what? I absolutely love that because you're right. No matter what consulting field, consulting can be expensive, and podcasting is such a great way to share information to those who, may not be able to be exposed to it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I think we took on a co-host, Charlie Luxton, who's been on a few British shows, Homes by the Sea and stuff, about last November, last COP actually. And that's been a really interesting acceleration for the podcast to see the professionality come through. I was saying just before we started recording, it's when you're with someone that's media trained, and all you are is a kind of someone that is passionate about a subject but can't actually speak articulately,
Yes.
then you can watch someone do a professional job with you.
Yeah. And you can kind of riff off each other and learn and
Yeah,
share. And no, that's
yeah.
great. And Will, what's the best way to connect with you? If we're watching and we're curious about the podcast, we're curious about Will, I'll put this in the show notes, but how do we connect? How do we listen?
So sustainability solved. Type up sustainability solved. We're at sustainabilitysolved.org. You can find us through there, or William at sustainabilitysolved.org. I mean, just sustainability solved.
Yeah.
That's our tagline, and you'll find us through that.
Awesome. Well, keep podcasting. I'd love you to come back and talk to us, down the track when you hit, another 100 or another couple of hundred. Well done. Well done.
Brilliant. Thank you so
Thank
much. Thank you.
you.